Okay, so do you want to introduce yourself to the camera and how you're related to me?
Oh, I'm Pat Buscani, and I'm Ari's grandma, and her father is my son.
Yeah. Okay, so the role of women over time, how do you think it's changed?
Well, when I was young, most women stayed at home and raised their children. Very few women worked outside of the home. Now I think women work a lot harder because they work outside the home and they raise their children, and it's a lot more work, I think.
Do you feel that men and women are finally at an equal state?
No. They might be as far as jobs are concerned, but certainly not as far as pay is concerned. I think women still get less money than men.
And what advice would you give to future generations?
To get a very good education, because more than likely, if you and your mate both will have to work, and so if you have a good education, then you can get a job at any time in your life, probably.
Okay. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your childhood?
I had a very nice childhood. I had 3 brothers, and 2 older, 1 younger. And we grew up in a working class neighborhood. We had a very large family on each side. My father had 5 siblings, and my mother had 5 as well. And all of them had a lot of children, so we used to get together frequently, and every Sunday we would go to Aunt Mary's house. And Aunt Mary raised my mother and her siblings, because my mother's mother died when she was 8 and her father died when she was 10. And Aunt Mary was 17, your age, and she ended up raising those children. So Aunt Mary was more like a grandma who we would go there every Sunday and have dinner. And her husband knew when he married her that he was going to have to take all these siblings along. And then they had 8 children themselves. So it was always lots of fun at her house, and we always had performances, and Uncle Bill would judge everybody's singing or reading, and then when it came time to say who was the best, he always seemed to disappear. And so he never got to pick anyone. And we would sing our little hearts out.
So what do you think was different about when you were married and you had kids and you went back to college? What was so different about that?
Well, I grew up in Buffalo, New York. I lived in Buffalo for 32 years. And I got married when I was 1 month shy of being 19. And then we moved to Toledo, Ohio, where I lived there for 34 years. And when I lived in Toledo, it was kind of hard because all my friends and family were in Buffalo. And so I decided that I would go to school. And it really wasn't heard of in my family to go to college. And I ended up, it took me 10 years to graduate, but I ended up graduating and being the only family member to graduate from college. And right after that, I got a job that I worked at for 20 years. And I was very happy in that job. It was very fulfilling. And but I kind of eased into it. I went to school with a woman who had the job, and when she retired, I took it over. So I didn't go through probably what a lot of women do after they raise their children and have to go out and interview, and I kind of eased into it. But did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to talk about. And what do you think that is your greatest achievement, or do you think you have something else?
Well, as corny as it sounds, definitely my children are my greatest achievement. They've all grown to be wonderful human beings, and they had wonderful children as well. But it was very gratifying to work with families who were dealing with cancer, and I did that for 20 years, and it was very fulfilling. But it was very rewarding to raise my children, to be with them every day,
What did you want to do before you grew up?
Well, the first thing I thought I'd do, because I went to 12 years of Catholic school, and the first thing I thought I would be is a nun. And then I met this fella, and I didn't want to be a nun anymore.
So, what do you find most interesting about our age of technology?
Well, I'm a little overwhelmed by technology, although I'm probably better than most people my age. I'll be 73 in February. But, you know, I can use a computer, and I think it's amazing that even the youngest children know how to use technology, and often my 5-year-old granddaughter will show me how to do things on the computer. And I think it's great, and I love that kids have telephones, because I wish that my children had telephones when they were little, so that I could keep track of them and they could call me if they needed something.
That's great. Is there anything you're still striving to achieve in your lifetime? Any goals?
No, I think I'm pretty happy with my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at my age, I'm just kind of enjoying it and enjoying being with my grandchildren. And no, I think I'm pretty content.
Do you feel that we're progressing towards a better society, or that we've lost our way?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I suppose there's some days when you see the television and the horror that's on the television, you think we've lost our way. But people in general are very good, and I think we could do a better job, you know, having peace in the world, and I think we're going to be okay. But I'm an optimistic person.
We'll have to see. Thank you for
You're welcome.
taking this time.